adventure called Eastshade. It's a lovely name for what appears to be a lovely game. However, beyond that point, I know absolutely nothing about what we're in for. Just the way I like it. Let's see what we have here. It's a picture of me. It's disquieting that the developers have included that. Should be fine. Voices are maxed at 50. Okay. Didn't want to hear your voices anyway. It's fine. Alright. Let me just make sure it's not staticking out on us. 1 second. I can never tell. My laptop speakers lack the requisite fidelity to properly inform me if I'm staticking out. Let me just check on here as well. I've been having some audio issues lately. Better safe than sorry. But good morning. I am attempting to wake up, steaming hot cup of coffee, and my steaming hot weekend personality. I'm sorry you had to see that. All right. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's fine. Thanks, speakers. Thanks, phone speakers that work properly. Launching in to Eastshade. Welcome. What is your name, traveler? My name... I guess you can't see that on that sign. Only I have access to the on-screen keyboard. Therefore, this will be a surprise to you. I was expecting them to then show it, but okay. My name is Wagons. For those of you who did not get to see, due to the selfishness of the on-screen keyboard. I've knocked my monitor. And everything went quiet. Alright. We awaken in a wooden room with perhaps just a touch too much camera sensitivity. That's gonna start making me sick. Look sensitivity, let's try. Oh, 40? Sound good? Apply. Still a little quick. Try 30. Have a bit more smoothness to the ordeal, though maybe we're going to need some rapid look sensitivity later on. And this is all a hideous mistake. Alright. It seems like a more human way to turn one's neck. Let's try that. Corpses bound in ropes. Oh no. Don't think this is necessarily a horror affair, since we've just been on the path of horror these last few sessions. I thought a little break from that might be nice. Hello, gentlemen, ladies, apes of all sizes, good to see you. Hey, you are, and I know this is forward of me, adorable. I'd like to give you a little kiss on the cheek once we become better acquainted. What are you reading? None of my business, really. Sorry I bothered you. Hello.
Forgive an old woman, but I forgot your name.
Do so.
What was it again?
Wagons.
Would you mind getting a book from the sleeping quarters? It would spare my
Of course.
bones the trip. It's called Great Voyages.
Spare your bones. Okay, help an old woman. She said it was upstairs? You said it was upstairs? 1 second. Right back. Good to meet you as well. I'll see you later. You look suspicious. See what I can do to calm your concerns when I return. Alright, I'm locked down here in steerage with the rest of you. Do you have a crowbar or a key I could borrow? Perhaps some sort of wooden wedge? Never seen this game. It's beautiful. Yes, I am very much looking forward to it. It has been on my list for some time. And today is the right time to... Okay, so I'm just gonna start pressing buttons. Oh, I can zoom. Zoom in on an old woman's bones, would you? Backpack. Excitable backpack? Okay. Seems as though we can craft things once we have the requisite boards.
Would you mind getting my book from the sleeping quarters? It would spare my
Maybe
bones
this
the
is
trip.
the sleeping
It's
quarters?
called Great Voyage.
Oh, this is hardly... This is... Madam, the trip, quote-unquote, you're mentioning is like 6 feet this way. Are you sure you can... fine. I'll help an old woman. Great Voyages. Property of Clara S. If found, please return to the port of Lyndow. The seas of the north, settle in, let me explain, are widely unexplored. Researchers have predicted these waters are expansive, and small expeditions have revealed numerous islands filled with diverse life and communities. Due to the unpredictable and violent nature of these waters, many exploration ships have been lost while attempting to form new contacts and carry out scientific research. All eyes on the horizon. We also have some sort of diagrams of whale tails, or perhaps they're upside-down mustaches. I'm not sure. Alright, despite the fact that I really do believe in you, that you could have made that journey yourself, here is your book.
Thank you very much. I've read this old book many times.
It's so nice to see you
Seems
guys.
I find something
Welcome,
new
welcome.
each read. And no matter how many times I've read it, it never fails to get me excited for adventure.
Adam,
Are you the adventuring
TMI.
type?
Wagons is certainly the adventuring type,
Ah, after my own heart. I've had a
Uh-oh.
lifetime of it, believe it or not. If you're sticking around in Eastshade, maybe I'll tell you all about it sometime. Captain Ilona told me we'll be
Is that an
landing in
invitation?
Lyndow shortly. I think
Lyndow,
we're all
not
antsy to
Lyndow.
arrive.
yes. I apologize. I'm certainly antsy to arrive. You've just learned about a new topic. Like a cream? You can now inquire about this topic using the Pick Topic option when it's presented. Not everyone has something to say about every topic. I found that to be true in life as well. Hello, sir. Now we may introduce
I've never been to
ourselves
Eastshade.
properly.
I've heard wonderful things about it. Did you know that the people there used to cover their
Fancy
mouths
man.
with garments? I've heard
they?
that's since gone out of style. Quite a strange
because of the
fashion
dust?
fad, if you ask me. As long as
Or was it
Eastshade
because of
doesn't
the
rock like this
plague?
ship, I will love it.
It's a bit rocky down here. Pick topic?
It's the
Lyndow.
quaint little seaside town we'll be landing in. It's one of the many gems of the country, I hear.
Thank you, Mishka. Absolute
Almost
pleasure to
there.
meet you. Doodles. Oh, we've rocked the boat. Don't rock the boat, baby.
Ooh, that did not sound good.
Sorry, I looked directly into her eyes when I said that. Should we... Oh, no. Oh, it's getting moist. Tighten your robes. Everyone this way. Quickly now before we die. Okay, we'll just die then, I guess. So that was Eastshade. It's a short game, but I found it to be rather engaging. Good morning. Did I ever tell you about the trip your father and I took to Eastshade? I was expecting them to narrate it for me, but no. Tell me again. Out of all the trips we took, that one was my favorite. You know, if you're ever looking for painting inspiration... ... I know, Mom. Tell me you'll visit it one day. Promise you'll go. She's being a bit forceful about this. I mean, if I survive the boat crash, sure. To think of you exploring Eastshade, it makes me so happy. I know you'll find inspiration there. What an adventure you'll have. Listen, there are some places you absolutely mustn't miss with your mister. Be sure to paint the giant tree. I remember it like it was yesterday, playing Icewind Dale as a child. How will I know which tree? Oh, you won't miss it. Trust me. That sounded very sinister, Mother. And the Tiffmore Bluffs. Ah, the lovely sky country. I can picture you there now. An easel set and you making a beautiful painting. Those open skies and endless seas would move any artist. Okay, Very bland response. Okay, Mom, I will. And the city. Oh, the city. There is a magnificent building in the center. From the very top floor, you can see the whole town and more. You won't be able to resist taking out your brushes. Is that a euphemism, Mother? Ah, soon. You'll be there soon. You should get some rest, Mom. The dementia's eating away at you. You've never been out of this room. All these sights you supposedly have seen, I know for a fact that you've been bedridden. Eastshade. Welcome all, and thank you for the subscription. My goodness, a 34-month streak. Your little bare feet must be tired of running round the football pitch. Incredibly glad. I have. Did you pull me from the water?
Are you feeling
Let me try
okay?
to guess your name. Ingov, is it? Because I just got an achievement that said washed up in
Do you
Ingov's
remember what
cave.
happened?
I'm a genius! I was traveling on a ship, and it collided. I cannot say for sure that it was with a reef, as I was inside the ship and there were no portholes.
I'm glad your memory's intact. You washed up on this beach just a short while after the ship sank. One doesn't last long in water this cold.
Tell my nipples about it. Did everyone
From what
else
I've
make it?
heard, You were the only passenger misplaced during the wreck. The others are safe in town.
Oh, good. I can't wait to kill a lazy old woman. Where are we? Ingolf's
Eastshade,
cave?
of course. Specifically, my home.
Shit.
I usually don't take visitors, but in this case I can hardly blame you for floating in unannounced.
Thank you for making an exception. I appreciate that. Did you steal from me? Did you take my wallet, my spectacles,
Only your
etc.?
easel. Don't forget to take it when you leave. Even the frigid tide couldn't bring you
So you
pop.
did
That's
take my
a
spectacles?
great deal to you.
Yeah, sure does. It's my only way of making art slash
About to
money.
head to town to share news of your survival. You should go there and let them know yourself. It's just up the path.
It's very echoey in here, Ingolf. Is that part of why you chose this for your home? I like it. I like it. That's how you escaped from the ship. Cut through the hull with your razor-sharp nipples. I love it. Sleeping meds are kicking in. Have fun, everyone. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for stopping by. So nice to see you. We'll catch you later, I hope. Ingolf, thank you for helping me. And if I may suggest, just a gentle shave around the cheekbones. I'll help, if you'd like me to.
On your way.
Pretty women salivating. That wasn't a threat. I know it sounded sinister, but I was just trying to draw comparisons. I wasn't... Never mind. Never you mind, Ingolf. Alright, what do we have here? A small lantern. Sadly... Oh, it's like a crystal. Crystal lantern. My favorite Jim Henson films. Alright. So those are the shales, I tried to say. Are those the sails of our ship? Now dead. R.I.P. ship. I don't suppose I can swim. I don't suppose. Alright. We're headed up this way. This is a lovely little game. All the shrubberies and such. The twin moons of Tatooine. The absolutely deafening seagulls. So many good design choices. There's some sort of tower over there. I am tempted to check it out. However, it seems like this way to Eastshade. What a lovely little hamlet. Alright, see if we can check over here. We can indeed stray from the path. The abandoned tower. Requires a key. One presumes inspiration. Making paintings drains inspiration. Gain it by exploring new places and trying new experimental things. I can't wait. Is there fall damage? Should I? Oh, good. Good. It won't let me. It won't let me make poor choices from my kneecaps. I appreciate that. So the more places we explore, the more inspiration we can acquire for our paintings. However, where was my easel that he made mention of? He's like, don't forget to take it on your way out. And I forgot to take it on my way out. We raced back down the cliffside. There's a sort of pit there. Strange. Do I gain no inspiration from the pit? Ah, I'm crouched. That's why. I was like, I've lowered myself. There must be a pit. Nope, you've bent your knees. You are straining your glutes. Oh, easel, come with me, easel. What do we have here? I'm gonna take this down just a touch. Not that I don't appreciate the constant screech of gulls in the back of my skull. Let's do about 40. The music. Don't know if the seagulls are ambient or not. Let's take that down just a touch as well. Right. Apply. Quickly. Oh, good God, apply. That's better. Don't apply? I didn't change anything that second time. Alright. I figured out if there's a run button. There's my easel. I walked right... I am a silly goose. That's one thing you should know about me. Thank you. Thank you for watching it. Alright, we can open inventory. We have a log book. What is this? No paintings. We haven't created any yet. Alright. Yeah. Why? Mother's last wishes and help an old woman. So here are my mission logs. Good, good. And then what do I actually do with the easel? Equipment? None. Drinks. Paintings and canvases. Don't know how I actually... I guess I just don't have anything in my inventory. It doesn't seem to be switching between items, but I don't have any items to switch between. Fair enough. So I need some boards and some fabric in order to start the painting experience, I presume. I seemingly cannot jump, though I can crouch, and I seemingly cannot... Ah, there we go. I can run. Trying all the buttons. Still a little loud on the gulls, but that's fine. Get away from the seaside, and I'm sure it will diminish. Look at these gorgeous puffy flowers. What have we here? Are they made of fabric? I'll take it. I have so many juicy marshmallow fruits in my inventory now. White bloom sack, a white bulbous fruit. It sounds hollow, just like me. Bonk. Keep collecting them just in case. If I have limited inventory space, I'm sure we'll quickly find out if so. Lyndow. Gorgeous spot. Ah, your robes have dried. I'm so proud of you.
I'm a bird!
Whoa. Who said that? It's you. How dare you shout, I'm a bird, directly in my ear. Come here, child. Let me have a word with you.
Aren't I good at flying?
You certainly are. You don't shatter a child's imagination. Certainly not when they're
Thanks.
flying.
My dad says that I can do anything as long as I put my mind to it.
Don't test that theory on a cliff. One word of advice. One phrase of advice. Don't believe your father to the extent that you leap from a high height. All right, enjoy your day. Back to dry robes. Missed you. How was the crash? From your
it's
perspective.
you. You're on the ship. What happened to you?
I'm all washed up. I survived.
Oh, thank goodness. We thought you were lost. Oh, what a
I know.
horrible
You left me
experience.
for dead. I got that
I'm so
impression.
glad to see you're safe. What brought you to Eastshade anyway?
Painting inspiration. My demented mother loved it here.
Very adventurous of you. I came to visit my family. You look like you could use a nice cup of tea. This flavor is a bit strong for some people, but the effects can be lifted
Lyndowian
with a sip
brew.
of water from your water
Nice.
skin.
So you gave me tea that I need to actively balance out my... What's the word? Constitution?
Our
Against?
captain is in a terrible
Sounds
state.
like a bit of a
I
mistake to
suppose
drink.
that's to be expected. She won't even leave the dock. Perhaps
Her
it would
life's
console
work is
her to
shattered
know that
upon
we
the
all
rocks,
survived. You should speak with her.
I shall. Where are you staying, if I may pry? I'd like to pickpocket you later. No, I would never. I lost all of my things. Please give me coins.
My
Where are you
family lives
staying?
here in Lyndow, so I'll be staying with them. If you find that night is coming and you're in need of a place to stay, you should check the inn. You'll be comfortable there.
You should check the inn.
It gets cold.
Don't stay
around
with
here
me
at
and my
night.
family.
You shouldn't be
We're
out
total
without a proper
strangers,
coat.
that's fair. Do you have a coat? Is that one of the topics? Did you see that tower
Oh,
back
yes.
there? It was
I
neat.
saw that from the ship. It looked as if there was a light coming from inside. Could it be a lighthouse?
If you have to be like, it looked as if there might have been a light coming from inside, then it's not a very
Are you wondering
effective
about
lighthouse.
anything else?
You should be able to see that from quite a distance. Love you. Smoochies. Alright. I'm gonna break and enter. Hello? Hello? I'm doing a B&D. A lovely spot this is. Gorgeous. Wonder if I could set up an easel right about here. The columns adding a little depth to my portrayal of the town. Gotta find some canvas first. So where's that captain? Said she was on the docks, being all moody and whatnot. What's that so loud? Inglenook, is it? Cute. Inglenook Inn. This
Hey, are you an
child has
artist?
great... Shh, I was speaking. Has great artistic potential. I think you're making one of those whale tails and one of those four-winged birds I've been hearing about. Do they have four wings? I don't think your realism is...
Hey,
Never
you
mind.
have an easel! Are you an artist?
She knows about the pickpocketing plans. That's why she didn't invite me to stay with her and her family. Yes. You should stay at the inn where there's security. I'm sorry, child. I am in a hurry. No, you
So am
encourage
I.
his
Do you
artistic
want to see
interest.
what I made?
I do. Show me.
Look!
Show me. You worked really hard on this. It's evidenced by the shadowing upon
It
that
took
whale tail.
all
Yes.
day. But I want to make my next one even better. What should I do?
Have the number of wings that the No, I like your fanciful portrayal. Nice canvas. Would help out of this flimsy piece of paper, this pitiful
But I
parchment
don't know
you've
how to
drawn
make
upon.
this.
I'll make you one. Just tell me where I can find some
All
fabric threads.
right! You're a nice artist after all.
Oh, stop it. I've gone bright red. We need to collect boards and fabric.
I know where some boards are. Follow me.
I'm just hanging out with a child in a village I've never visited before. All
Did
right.
you see when it ran a reef?
All right.
I've never seen anything like that.
Terrible waste of a good ship.
And it went down so quickly. It's amazing anyone made it out.
Tell me about it. It went down so quickly. Cover your ears, child.
Now we just
Thank
need
you
the
for
fabric.
leading me to the boards.
I don't know where to find that. Maybe we should ask
Well, you
someone.
could. Never mind. I was going to suggest he take off his outer tunic, but even such an
Let's keep
innocent
going.
request is not appropriate for the child. Let's steer clear of that territory. Give me your outer tunic. No, let's not disrobe. With the stranger child. Okay. I bet the fans of that ship out there. I don't know if I can, doggy paddle out that way. We'll ask someone else. How many boards did that give me, though? Curiosity. 4. Imbued with the quaint, dreamy glimmer of its seaside port town origin, and yet it has unknown results. I have seemingly infinite water. Clear my head of anything weird I drank. Good God. From sucking the white bloom sack. I like that gesture. That's a good gesture. You've just abandoned your drawing, Sanja. Oh, there you are. Good. Oh, we're still together. Okay, I thought maybe we'd meet up later after I found the fabric. But I guess this is my child now. Knock, knock. Ooh. Another B&E, I guess. Excuse me. Do you perchance have any fabric
You
for...
traveler from the wrecked
I see you
ship.
have a lot of extra fabric around your chin. Yes. Don't blame this on the captain. I mean, they were doing their
Oh,
best.
good. Ingolf needs some visitors every now and then. I wish he would spend more time in town, but he'd rather be alone.
I mean, that's fair, and we should respect it. Do you live in Lyndow?
Yes, I run the inn. I always keep a full stock of soup and tea to refresh weary travelers. When
Fetch
I
me
was
some
young,
soup.
I
I'll
traveled
pay
all
you in
over
bloom
this island.
sacks.
I'd love to adventure again one day.
Browse the goods. It's a bit forward of me. We've just met. Lyndow, abandoned tower fabric.
I think
That's
the dog
one.
workers used fabric sacks with the incoming and outgoing shipments. Task one of them.
Okay. Thank you. Do you know where the key for the abandoned
Towers like
tower
that
is?
were used to send fire signals to Nava. But we don't need to do that anymore.
We don't do that kind of thing
It's a bit
anymore.
eerie, but late the other night, I thought I saw lights coming from inside the tower. Oh, it's probably just some
That's
kids
just the
playing
ritual
prank.
murder. I mean, kids playing. Tell me more about this Nava. Good morning, indeed. Thank you so much for the subscription. That is so kind of you. Welcome back. I'm going to throw some moons at you, which pleases me greatly. It always pleases me greatly to see my blood moon being used. Such a pleasure. All
I
right,
lived
tell me
there
more.
for a few years, working as a baker. I do miss the bustle of the city
Crunchy.
sometimes.
You wore a bustle in the city? Did I hear that right?
Take care
I don't
now.
think you have any need to augment, madam. You are, if I may peek, you are rocking it back there. No bustle required. Child, cover your ears. I'm sorry you had to see that, child. Let's go to the docks. Gonna find some fabric sacks. Do. Who wants to have sex with me? Cover your ears, child. Just take it from under his nose? That seems rude. Okay. Alright, I should be able to make Sonja canvas now.
So we have everything we need
Pardon
now,
me, madam?
right? We can make a
Stylish
canvas from
hat.
this stuff?
Why don't you just keep your thoughts to yourself, Sandra, okay? Okay? Let's just do that. Go back to your little board. And here we go. Alright. Craft. Canvas. And I need one more piece of fabric.
Could you paint something? I want to watch a real artist.
I thought we were making this canvas for you. If I use it so that you can watch, quote-unquote, a real artist, which is very generous, then I won't have a canvas to give to you, my friend. But yeah, I'll paint something. I mean, that's pretty. I could paint you. Do you want... No. Shouldn't threaten to disrobe the child and then paint them. No. Paint the distant windmill. The Munes. I don't know if I actually get to choose. Let's see. I guess those are just the ones my mother mentioned, perhaps? As a checklist of sorts? Is it that building in town? Looks a little bit taller than that one, at least 3 stories. So I don't think so. The only thing that is one of the suggested painting items, I think, would be one of the windmills. I don't know if those are too distant to paint. Let's check up here. If I can figure out a path. Nice that it's wheelchair accessible. It's a bit steep. That's very inclusive. Here we are. Follow me out of the city limits, child. Don't worry, you can trust me. I washed ashore in a cave this morning. Apparently the child
Great
can't trust
viewpoint,
me.
isn't it?
Where did you come from? Lovely.
Look, the eclipse is starting.
Is it just? That's awfully quick. I think we might be in danger. I think the tides are going to swallow us. Interesting. I was hoping it would last long enough for me to paint it.
Not a bad show, right?
Not bad at all. But what are we talking about exactly? I've missed seeing it from solid ground. What does that mean? Were you floating while you watched? Eclipse looks similar everywhere. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. Sunset in Camden. It's been a while since I've really watched the eclipse. Thank you for sharing this moment
I
with me.
try to come up here every day. I guess it just doesn't get old
Eclipse
for
every
me.
day.
Anyway,
Lucky.
if you haven't got lodging for the night, feel free to stay at the inn. I'll leave the upstairs room unlocked for you. Drop in at your leisure.
Very kind.
Don't worry about payment. Shipwreck survivors stay free of charge.
Keep that in mind. Next time I'm in a strange town. Hey, I'm a shipwreck survivor. I heard that there's like a discount for that.
By the way, I know of someone who would very much enjoy meeting you. She's an avid painter and very excited about her work. She's still working on
Looking
some
forward
things,
to it.
and I bet she'd love to hear a tip from a professional. She usually hangs out near the inn. Take care now.
I've got tips to share. Masked children playing boaty plane. Resting? What a cute little bear child. This game is great. I like your rustic, hand-woven ball, you cute bear child. Alright, leave the children alone. How about we stop interacting exclusively with the local children, So do I just... So I can pick anything I want to paint, presumably. It's not a bad little sequence, but the bushes, it's a little bush heavy. Oh, I back out. I hope that did it. I hope that's backed me up. We could capture the ship's sails in this somehow. Or I could just paint Sanja. However, he seemed excited to watch me, rather than be the, subject of the painting. I feel like I've lost Sanja. There you are, you little cutie, come here. I gotta say, I hope I didn't wander outside city limits and then lose someone's child. Need to find a good little peak. Some windmill, some ship. Oh, further this way. Moon moves an awful lot. Try up on this platform here. I like it. We'll start here. Drag to adjust the cropping. Yoink! This is how it's done, child. Take notice. Look at the fine brush strokes.
I want to try. Can I have a canvas? We found enough stuff, right? Yes! I'm going to use this for Miss Nika's next painting. She loves art so much. Hey, Miss Nika loves art like
Apparently
us.
gave me an
She
extra
always
fabric.
likes my paintings.
You enjoy that,
I bet
child.
she'd like
It's
yours
magical.
too. She really likes the eclipse. You should draw her that.
I will. I will draw her that. Browse your paintings. For a half second there I saw retrieve your easel, but it must have done it automatically. For me. Nice. First painting in the bag. I like it. Cute little bridge. Big ass moon. That's what I like. Alright, so I need to find more boards and fabric now. In order for us to make another one, we need to continuously draw inspiration.
We've had quite a few shipwrecks here. There's a reef surrounding the bay, and that's what does it. It shouldn't slow down traffic too much, though. I'm just glad you all made it.
Oh, thank you for the subscription. So nice to see you there. Especially when I know you're venturing out into the world. How kind of you to take a moment to stop by. It is an absolute privilege to be part of a 30-month subscription. Okay. I shouldn't keep making you hold that. I'm sorry.
Almost every day. If you ever have any questions about Lyndow, come on over, and I'll do my best to help.
Thank you. I mean, this behatted woman at the end of the dock is the captain in question. Hey, I just want to mention first off, I don't blame you for any of this. That reef is hard to see. I can't even see it now. So, I don't
So you've survived too.
think you have anything to feel guilty
Means
about.
only one of us has been lost at sea.
Who was
Oh.
lost?
Only the most important one of us all, Annabelle!
The cursed doll? I don't think that's a big loss. She doesn't sound familiar. You haven't heard of the cursed...
I see. She carries you across the ocean.
Oh, the ship.
You don't
That's
even
sad.
learn her name. Annabelle! My ship! My wooden, sea-loving daughter! Killed by
I
the damn
could go gather
reefs.
some more boards.
We
and
came into
could maybe
this
see
miserable town.
I could patch it with some fabric. I could paint you the ship. And then it would be like she lives on. She lives on in the artistic realm. I'm very sorry
Kind
about
of
your
you to
ship.
say so, but kindness does nothing to bring sweet Annabelle back to me.
Let's sort of my whole vibe, yeah. Saying kind things, but doing absolutely nothing to help. That's where I live. At least all the real people made it. No, that's not the time for. It's not the time for that statement.
The rest of my days,
She cares nothing for the real people.
Sitting here, dreaming of a world where she wasn't destroyed and people actually remember her name.
If only. The ideal utopian society where people remembered the name of the ship. I'm sorry I didn't remember. Quite genuinely. I know that means a lot to you, and from the bottom of my
Off
heart.
with you. Trade your life for hers.
Go ahead. Plunge
Now
me
leave
into
me
the sea. I understand. Apples. They are so shiny and crisp. I'm gonna need some more fabric. Do you mind hurrying it up with the burlap delivery here? Because I'm an artist in a bit of a rush, so I don't know if time passes like in real time or if it's event based. What are you... Child, you must get down. This is not safe. Nika, are you legally liable for this sort of behavior? Yes, I'm concerned too, Nika. Wait, what are we going to...
I know that I can do it if I put my mind to it!
He's a bird, remember? No!
I can't fly if I don't even try!
I beg you please,
You're
no.
not a bird, Lenny. You need to come down right now. You're going to get hurt.
Does anyone have like a net?
Turn around!
No, don't
What?
turn around. We want
Why?
to see every moment of this.
If you don't all turn right now, I'm gonna jump!
Okay. Everyone turn around.
Okay.
I don't know what you're trying to do, but it's time to come down now.
I flew! I can't believe it! I flew!
Can I turn back
Of
around
course you
now?
did. I'm just glad you're back down. Don't do that, okay?
Okay, now that I know I can fly, I won't do it again.
There he is. We all believe you. You certainly flew, big man. Now, don't scare me like that again. Alright, so we can go to the inn, presumably for a nice little sleep. Who else haven't we spoken to yet? Madam? Introduce ourselves later, it seems. Ah, fabric. Yummy. Yummy. What have we here? Once an old lady went up into a tall tower right on the coast. She stayed up there watching the ocean and eating snacks until it was past her bedtime. Then she wanted to go home to see her cat. She started to go down the stairs, but she fell because she was so tired, and then she died. She turned into a ghost, and now she stays in the tower and haunts it. She turns on the lights whenever night comes so that her cat can find her. The cat doesn't ever go because the tower is... It is. Because the tower is... What? I'm so confused. Seemingly cannot scroll. Maybe we'll find another chapter to resolve this cliffhanger for ourselves. Boards! Thank you for watching them. Oh, you are burly. Hi. Excuse me.
Watch your step there. Lots of moving boxes round here. You're looking a little waterlogged. Guessing you just came in off of that ship. Think you even got some seaweed hanging from your ear.
It's a fashion choice. I'll thank you to just compliment me and move about your day. Gee, thanks. No, you're right. I am hideous.
Yeah, we all have those days, right? I mean, my dad got in a shipwreck once.
We
He
all have
wasn't as
those
lucky as
days
you,
where
though.
we were in a shipwreck. Oh God, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm so...
no, he's fine. Just lost his leg is all. Now he gets to order us around even more. So, you'll probably be exploring all over, right? Would you do me a huge favor?
Absolutely.
My brother loves raspberry-filled pastries. Loves them. He can't get enough. But
who doesn't?
raspberries don't grow here. So he puts in an overseas order every 2 weeks. It's crazy, really. Now, the thing he hates is grape-filled pastries. I mean, we all hate them, obviously, but he hates them even more. He'd destroy them all if he could, you know? He once saw an old lady eating some, and he grabbed the box and threw it in the ocean. It was the craziest thing.
It's a crime.
Okay, so what I did was fill his raspberry pastry bag with grape pastries. Can you imagine what he's gonna do when he eats one? He'll go insane. He's always suspicious of me doing something like this, though, so it would be perfect if you could play along and act like you're a delivery person.
You want me to help
what do you say?
drive
You
your
deliver
brother
them to him?
insane? Like literally locked in a padded cell because of the grape pastries. I'm not into pranks. This does sound like fun though. I have to say I'm a little into this one.
Huh. Don't think of it as a prank. Think of it as a bonding experience
when you put it that
between
way.
loving siblings.
Hello indeed. Good morning. It is so nice to see you all there in the chat. I have missed you guys desperately throughout the arduous work week.
Perfect. You gotta play the part, though. Really make them think they're raspberry pastries. This'll be great. Here, take these.
As long as you promise this will
lives
bond
over in
you
Nava, so I'll meet you
lovingly.
there in a few days, alright? I'll probably be near the bakery. You just come find me, and I'll point my brother out.
A few days away from here? You want me to play a prank a few days away from here? Now, this is strange, but I'll see you soon. Hey, could you do me a quick favor? Could you walk 3 days east to the neighboring village to drive my brother insane? Alright, collected all the goodies. I guess that means we might be able to make another canvas. And should do so. Sonja has one, or at least he has the materials for one. I don't think we need to worry about him. Was there anyone down on this part of the docks? Looks fairly empty. There are some sweet goodies. Thank you, sweet goodies. Alright, so it does appear to be about sunset-y. I could stop in at the inn, get some early sleep, perhaps dry my pantaloons near a roaring fire. Is there anyone we have not yet introduced us to? Couldn't speak to any of them. Let's check this house. Oh, Sandra! You can't get rid of me. So, hi, I'm your son's new best friend, and you're an owl. How did that... Sandra? Why is your family an owl? Tell me, is it rude of me to ask? I don't know how the customs are in this part of the world. Maybe owls give birth to monkeys, and that's perfectly natural and fine. I'm the one who's behind the times. You are still flying. God, you really have found your life hobby. Hello. It's a bear in a great tightness. How can I help?
Who's there? Nika? Is that you?
Yes, it's me, Nika. No, it's not. I was kidding. I'm sorry. I was playing a prank on you after I just told the big burly man that I wasn't into pranks.
You must be one of the tourists.
I feel bad about it.
Terrible about the sinking and all that. Glad you're okay. Yada yada, etc.
Glad you're okay.
But will you go get Nika, the innkeeper? I need help.
Can I help? My hands are very greasy. Why is there a jug on your head?
It's stuck, obviously. Now, would you be
Foolish
so
of me
kind
to
as to
ask,
go get
really.
Nika for me?
Give the child that calming tea. That's not a bad idea. Maybe it'll keep him from jumping off the rooftops. Nah, stay in your pot forever.
Brilliant.
Oh, of course
I'll wait here.
Though really, I think that we could figure it out together. I'll go get your friend. You're more comfortable with. That's fair. Do. Going next door, 'cause your friend's got a jug on his head.
Busy working this dock.
The
It's
traveling
hard,
artist.
but fulfilling for me.
Tis I.
Goodness, that painting of the eclipse is lovely. Is it for me?
I painted no such thing, but I mean, you can have my picture of the moon, which I made. It's not eclipsed. It's not eclipsing nothing.
I bet Sandra
Yeah,
put you up to
here
this.
you go.
Ah, this is lovely. You're too kind. I'm going to hang this in the room upstairs.
Oh, nice. Customize the world with our artistic endeavors. I also had something else to tell you about. There we go. Ooh, 20 glowstones, madam. You shouldn't have. A son is
Oh,
stuck.
of course he does. And what is it this time?
Don't moon the poor lady. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. He has a body part stuck in something.
Again? That's like the 8th time. All right,
My
then,
God.
we'd better go help.
Yes?
Let's go. Nobody steal any free drinks while we're gone. I'm watching you. I've counted the amount of remaining drinks. I'm sure it's not that kind of town. Don't get ahead of her. That would put her out of frame. Hey, son, we're back.
Oh, it's really stuck, isn't it?
I'm just watch.
Yeah.
Sort of chuckle a
it's
little to
pretty
myself,
stuck.
quietly.
I think what we need here is some soap.
Alright, who's gonna go get the soap? Eeny, meeny, miny. It's me,
Would
isn't
you
it?
be a dear and fetch some soap from Amin's house? It's just down the stairs and across the courtyard.
I'll be right back. Feel like I might be doing a lot of fetch quests around here, but I don't mind. Down the stairs and across the courtyard? Here-ish? Emin? I hear you make a mean batch of
Hello
soap.
there. Can I help you, traveler?
It's just a little joke.
Soap?
Could I borrow
Well,
some soap?
certainly.
I'm stinky.
May I ask why?
Personally, very stinky. It's too weird for words. I don't know if he really wants me spreading the good news, so I'll just be vague. Be vague about it.
You shouldn't use soap for that. It's not safe. Anyway, I'll ask no more.
Soap for what? I was
Here.
too vague
And
for you to make that
no
kind of
need to return
distinction.
it. Is he
Yeah,
a
it's gonna
friend
have
of
some
yours?
little curly hairs on it when we're done. Actually, I think he's an ass. Like, literally, he might be a donkey man. I barely know him.
Well, I shouldn't
But I
gossip
didn't tell
then.
you who we're talking about, so it seems like we're on the wrong path of dialogue here. What's the dirt? Is that like the scoop, the skinny, the 411, the rough cheese? Give it to me. Lay it
He's
on
just
me,
such
sister.
a peculiar man. And you know what? I think Lenny is going to have some real issues when he grows up.
Seems a little
Well,
judgmental.
you've seen him. The boy is unhinged. And
Seems a
not
little
just
judgmental.
that. I've been hearing a lot of yelling coming from that house. I think it's quite a broken home. You
Seemed
know,
a little judgmental.
Imagine you'll be traveling all around this island, being a tourist and all.
Does
Perhaps
that
when you
hot
get to
goss?
Nova, you should let the sheriff know about Isan. I think it's only right.
that.
You know, for Lenny.
I'll think about it, but it really seems like you should just kind of keep your beak in your lane
I
here.
think it'd be best for the child. I only have his best interest at
I
heart.
mean, yes, the child did
Isan
just try
is
to commit
not a
suicide today,
stable
but
man,
he backed
and
out of
wholly
it.
unsuitable to be a
And
parent.
what child hasn't
Here,
threatened?
this will help you with the
Come
tone.
on.
Right. Well, here's
That's
some
kind of
soap.
you.
See.
You go in to borrow some soap, suddenly you're embroiled in like a child social services scandal. I just wanted to borrow some soap, madam. I'm coming. Keep your head in the jar. Hey guys, how are you? You look like you've had about enough of this. Arms crossed, head
You have
shaken.
the soap.
All right.
Well, let's try this thing then. Here, let me have that soap.
Here you are. Oh, I've been blinded by the
Well,
light.
I guess it was convenient that you dropped in when you did.
Oh,
And
you're
thanks
gorgeous.
for getting Nika.
My pleasure. Could I perhaps ask of you that fashionable vest as payment? The mean said she heard yelling from your house. I don't want to pry, but I think that it has a very innocent explanation that could be quickly cleared up.
That nosy, stuck-up goody two-talent.
I got that impression. Yeah.
If you had to deal with what I have to deal with, she just me because I'm not posh like her. This whole town is stuck up. Them and all their judging eyes. You know what? Get out of my house. You're just like everyone else in this town. Coming in here and telling me I'm a bad father. Get out.
I just wanted to give you the, stage to explain yourself so that I would not have to go get the sheriff involved, because I wouldn't. And I have not heard the yelling myself. I didn't say you were
I know that's what you meant. Just get out.
I mean, I will do so if that's what you desire, but could we diplomatically? Wow,
Get
that was hard
out.
to say. Okay. Maybe you are too unstable. Oh, it's fine. I'll leave. And thank you for your time. Hope there's another segment to that saga. I'd hate to leave it with such bad blood between us. Especially after he just got all nice and clean around the neck area. I was hoping to be friends. Children? Still playing boatsies plainsies, I see. Good for you. Good for you. So we have some sort of ghostly, storyline back at the abandoned tower during the night. Maybe we should check that out before we stop at the inn? See if we can see some lights, etc. Also have plenty of other pathways out of the city to explore. However, I think we've hit up all the major buildings. Just to make sure there isn't this one that I missed. Let's see if it has an interior. Oh, hello, cutie. Brrr. I'll take that. Oh, cute kitties. Hi, guys. I barely even see Lefty there. So well camouflaged. They're just having a snuggle. What a nice time. Hi. 1 second. I found a feather. I'm keeping it.
A newcomer. In the future, if you're ever in need of carriage to Nava, I'm your driver.
I am often in need of carriage, yes. Take me to Nava. Okay,
My
thank you. Good
ox
to know.
is strong, no?
I bet it is. I bet it is. Moving on. That's where I keep questions during the long journey. However, there is no interior to her little hovel. Good. So, let's race back to this abandoned coastline tower. It may not be deep enough in the night just yet. Ooh, I'm deep into the night. A fancy bridge off that way. Be fun to paint. Some more bloom sacks. I haven't quite figured out what those... Has it become cold? Oh yeah, they said I didn't have a coat, right? I should probably, before I freeze to death, race back to the warmth. I need to get indoors. Oh. I didn't make it in time. I froze to death. If you really love a particular painting you made, you should keep it for yourself. Good to know. Night is also the nickname of the local forest bartender. I'm deep into the... What? This must be my room at the inn. And she put up my painting. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Shadian Folktales, Volume 1. Long ago, the air outside the planet grew terribly cold. Without any fur or feathers for protection, the sun began to freeze. She decided to make her flames as big and hot as possible to keep herself warm, just like the goss. Sun worked all day and night to keep her fires burning. Enormous flames reached all the way out to our soil and began to scorch the creatures here. Fires raged, destroying homes and forests, but Sun was too exhausted to notice. Growing worried, the plants and creatures decided to help her. Together, they gathered twigs, leaves, fur, and feathers and wove them all together into a large sheet of fabric. They covered it with clay to protect it from fire, and the trees lifted the woven mass into the sky. "Take this blanket to rest yourself in warmth," the creatures cried. Sun slipped under the blanket and wrapped herself tightly. Her flames cooled and dimmed, leaving the land creatures in darkness. When Sun woke from her golden... from her nap, her golden light returned to the creatures, who danced and sang, thankful that their gift had worked. And so, that is the story of Sun's blanket, which she still uses to this day. True story. True story. Take those candles. Some extra fabric for the road. Thank you for this discount for shipwreck survivors. I had a lovely night. I feel so rested. The architect of Lyndow. Lyndow's buildings are engineering marvels, I've noticed, as difficult to construct as they are beautiful. The designs of these technical endeavors are the work of one eccentric genius, Azad of Taria. 5 years ago, this incredible architect vanished. His whereabouts remain a mystery to this day. Though praised for his accomplishments in engineering and architecture, he is perhaps most widely recognized throughout Eastshade for a rare genetic facial disfigurement. A polarizing celebrity, many praise his genius, while others resent his supposedly arrogant disposition. Some even claim that his notoriety is owed entirely to the disfigurement, implying that his credited skills are, in actuality, nothing more than ordinary. However, one only needs to look around the town of Lyndow to see he has built something wonderful. It's true. If indeed he is responsible for the architecture of this town, then eccentric genius. Such a cute little game, I agree. I'm having an absolute blast. Alright, tavern patron, tell me, where may I acquire such a fancy hat and skirt?
When I was a boy, merchants came to Lyndow with strange spices and soft fabrics. They haven't been back in a long time, though.
It's because the spices were too strange. What do you import now? What color are their hands?
We mainly get shipments of teas, grains and fabrics, and headwear of the latest fashion, of course.
Well, of course.
In any case, there's always lots of work to do around here.
I'll let you get back to the hard work of becoming inebriated. Don't think I really have anything to ask about. Figure out the abandoned tower for myself. Good to see you. Nika. Everyone? Oh, such a cozy little reading nook. Hi. Sorry to
I feel
interrupt.
so adventurous staying here in Lyndow.
I know, right? Where are you traveling from?
I live
Pry
in
Pry.
Nava, but sometimes I just long for the primitive lifestyle Lyndow offers.
Seems like a fairly nice little town. Primitive lifestyle, just because they don't have your fancy internet and electricity and such?
How humorous you are! I like that in a person. Some may find the
His
story
face
of
is a
my
cozy
journey
little
utterly
reading nook.
inspiring. Nothing could have prepared me for the muddy paths, the unbearable heat. I even had to eat outside. Overall,
Horror.
it was a dreadful experience, but I braved through it all.
Sounds like you're eager to get back to your indoor plumbing. I understand. It's like, I had to eat outside. I barely survived a terrible shipwreck. No, I'll keep
Yes,
that to
it
myself.
certainly was impressive on my part.
Good for
I so
you.
dearly wish my friends
Pushing
could
out
see
of your
how
comfort
adventurous
zone.
I've become.
It's all subjective. I'm gonna let him have this one as a win. Alright, so is it the next day? I don't know if I have any sort of clock. Nope. Still can't go outside. Okay, I need to find a coat. I forget, somebody mentioned a coat, but then I didn't
You
know
look
how
well.
to retrieve it.
Certainly.
Browse goods? Maybe here. Maybe I just need to drink tea in order to be warmed throughout the night. Sure to keep you warm on a cold, Shadian night. This brew is made with honey from the apiaries of Eastshade's remote west coast. Sounds nice. So I guess I should just go to sleep? I don't necessarily want to spend $6 to go enjoy the nightlife. If I could later buy a coat and enjoy it without spending $6, that'd be great. So, let me try getting some shut-eye. It's been a long shipwreck-filled day. See if we can head out tomorrow. When should I wake? Roughly 5 o'clock? Give it a shot. This is a great little game. Excuse me, my throat betrayed me. Great little game so far. It almost feels like an Oblivion or a Skyrim mod. In all the best ways. I really like it. Alright, so hopefully outside for me to walk around unmolested by Mr. Frost. That jackanape. Apparently I've roused myself from my slumber before even the innkeeper. But that's nice. I have the whole town to myself. So, we have that cool bridge. I would like to see what's on the other side of it. We have this path off into the forest this way. I don't think there's any other pathways on the dock side. Let's see if they've received any new fabrics overnight. Assuming no. No. Fair. Sort of strange that these braziers never seem to light themselves in the middle of the night. Maybe I didn't wait long enough. Or maybe they're just decorative, but not functional. Never heard of it before, but then again, you only play on consoles. Is this an RPG? It seems to be kind of a RPG/walking simulator type thing. A painting simulator, but it does have some crafting elements and side quests and stuff. I think we could safely label it an RPG. I am playing a role, certainly. I wonder what I can craft with roots like that. Let's check the old menu. I need seemingly to unlock some recipes or something. But so far, I have not hit an inventory limit, which I do appreciate. I'm one of those people that likes to pick up everything. Gotta go get work done on the van. Bye! I'm so sorry if I missed you there. I hope it goes well and easily. Ah, the birds do have 4 wings. Now I see. I feel like such a jerk. I'm making fun of Sange's realism skills. And in fact, it's my own inability to recognize reality that's led us to this misunderstanding. So I don't know if once I get a coat or if I collect some of that warming tea. I don't want any warming tea! I could get in here at night if it unlocks at a certain time, or if even at night I will have to find a key regardless. Not quite sure. I see a building over here. Let's try to make our way thence. It's a lovely little stilt house, though it has perhaps seen better days. Where's the tire swing? Several old Lyndow. Another topic for me to ask the residents about. If only someone in that tower would throw down their hair. Yes, indeed. It would save me a lot of trouble. Property of Yulia Greywing. It's been raining for several weeks now. Tons of water pouring down in a constant torrent. Our home is filled with buckets to catch spills from the ever-growing leaks. How I long for a moment of clear sky and a break from the incessant dripping as I try to sleep. Disaster has struck. Last night, just after the eclipse, the red feathers woke to a creaking and groaning. They grabbed their children and ran outside, moments before the house split from its stilts and crashed into the river below. Madam Baker has ordered an evacuation of all of old Lyndow until they can fortify our homes against this awful wet. It's hard to fortify oneself against the awful wet. Oh, terrible news! And only a day after we evacuated our homes and made camp on high ground, the entirety of our happy village has sloughed off into the river. Nearly half of the hillside broke from the mainland in a huge gush. This is getting very saucy. Taking our homes down with it. What a horrible thing the weather has cast upon us. Nadia, the water fox. Celios laid out his blanket in a patch of sunlight. His water fox, Nida, maybe? I said that in the wrong order. Nida sniffed about, searching for a nest of eggs to snack on. Crunch, crunch. Stomach growling, he pulled a sachet of frosted biscuits and berry wine from his pack. Yummy. Nida howled in excitement. She'd found a nest. With a thick crunch, she cracked into the egg, hungrily lapping out the contents before batting the empty shell aside. Celios grimaced as she started on her second egg. As charming as he found water foxes, he couldn't stomach their eating habits. Who will think of the young? Especially in a world where, say, owls are sentient people, which could be said of our world as well. We just haven't given them enough of a chance, really. Okay. Got all the goodies. I'm a little bit tempted to make a portrait of old Lyndow. I'm not sure if I have like a guaranteed way to get canvases later. Assuming I'll be able to continue finding the items to craft them, but do those items to craft them respawn, or is limited amount in the game world? Not sure yet. I should probably take it a little bit easy with the paintings until we're positive. We have not yet come upon a tree of unusual size. I'm sure we will in fact know it when we see it. Too curious about that bridge. Let us run off that way. The owls are not what they seem. perhaps some sort of hobbit home built into the hillside over there. I'm excited. Let's check it out. Toll bridge drop box. Pay the toll of 60 glowstones. How? I mean, that's such a small river to cost you $60 to cross, especially in this economy. This is a toll bridge. Yeah, but who's gonna enforce the toll? I see no toll troll. Of course, they wouldn't make themselves visible. Not until the time is right. Hello, fisherman. How are
Hello there, newcomer, are you? Trying to get across the bridge, I guess. I hope you've got the glowstones for it. It's not free, you know. The rule is you pay once and you can use it as much as you'd like.
I don't suppose you have any on you that I could... Your money or
From
your
other
life?
people, I think.
Should we?
It seems to me that you're in need of some money. What's all that you're carrying? Looks heavy. Are you some kind of painter?
Yep.
You know what? Maybe there's a way you can get the glowstones out of me after all. There's a gazebo
Forceps?
in Lyndow. Real pretty spot. Maybe you've been there. Anyway, I'd like a painting of that view.
Like of the gazebo or from the gazebo? And then in which compass direction?
The gazebo is easy
I'll paint
to
it for
find. It's just behind the
I'll paint it for you.
And I want the painting from the gazebo, not of the gazebo. It's the view, not the building, if you get my meaning. Damn fighting today.
Alright. I'm gonna go make you a painting from the gazebo, not of the gazebo. And I'll see you back here. Yummy. Take that for my root collection. If only I had a canal to keep them in. I'm assuming he means the one on the hill. Seems to be the only true gazebo. Though this could also be said to be a type of gazebo? I would assume it's that. So the currency is gallstones. Nope, you're hearing that right. Yes. That is exactly the currency. Give it a quick save, and let's see if there's any specification here. Fisherman near the Lyndow riverbank asked me to make a painting from the gazebo behind the Inglenook Inn. Good. You're still flying, child. He's gonna be a pilot one day. Alright. So which direction would a painting be most satisfying? I mean, that's pretty neat. Town view. It's also not bad. You catch the ship just twixt the columns. Or we have the distant, sunny view of the tower, the windmills. Sort of an obvious choice. Let's try to frame this up right proper. Oh yeah. That's the stuff. Catch the sun before it moves. Get both of our plants in view. Good, good. Darker near the plants than I was hoping for, but that's alright. I'm sure he'll appreciate it regardless. Can I view my painting while it's... Can't quite see the windmills to the extent that I would like. Oh well. See if it settles his requirements. A hearty mug of fountain water. Nothing starts your day off right like penny-flavored, bird-dropping-infested fountain water. Oh, fisherman, if I had a hanky, I would panky it at you to get your attention. But I have no such thing.
Well, looky here, you've gone and painted the gazebo view. Are you willing to sell it?
For the right price?
Oh,
Yes.
how about that? Myself something fancy.
It's a little bit off-kilter. I'd like to apologize. But thank you for the glowstones. I appreciate you. 25, sir. How wealthy are you as a fisherman? May I take that rod? May I take that rod from you? Not like that. Let me
Thanks again
rephrase.
for that damn fish unbiting today.
Anytime. Anytime, my friend. So how many glowstones do I actually have? 60. There they are. Just the right amount to pay the toll. Do I need to save them for anything else? Not entirely sure what I'm able to buy besides 2 different types of tea at the moment. To be some sort of archway over there. It's very fancy. And is this a zip line? So that would seemingly allow access to that house, and then the road leads off and away towards the arch. Assuming that goes to another town or house that way. What is this? Oh, thank you so much for the gifted subs. That is so kind of you. Magic. Okay. Must be a distant peak that has not loaded in properly. Behind the fog there. Elsewise, this is the entrance to Merlin's realm. But does seem like a coming from that side, ending here sort of situation. Nothing I can do yet. Fair enough. Oh, hey, buddy. Get down to your level, like
There's
a child.
nothing like a good book on a day such as this. Actually,
you're right, Eunice.
books are the perfect way to spend any day. Do you enjoy reading?
Do I enjoy reading?
I'm glad to hear that. Perhaps I can share my favorite books with you sometime. My favorite books are the ones that inspire me to write myself. How about you?
Good books don't encourage me. Yeah, no. I can get down with that.
Me a writer, you a painter. We've got to stay inspired. Best way I've found is to drink many, many cups of tea. Always gives me a boost. Speaking of writing, if you find any feathers around here, I'd happily buy them. I'm constantly losing my quills. I figure 3 should do it.
I think I found 3 feathers, exactly. There you
Oh,
go.
wonderful. Hopefully this is enough to last me a while. Thank you very much. I do hate
I'm
scouring the
privileged,
forest
sir.
floor for these. If you find any more, I'll pay you 1 glowstone apiece. Is there something else?
You have yourself a deal. I'll keep my eyes peeled. Pick topic. What can you tell me about the neighboring
Many of
town?
the folk from Old Lyndow moved there after the mudslide. The library there is of a historic note.
Library. I can't wait to check it out.
Is there something else?
Just wondering if you're maybe free for a picnic sometime. I've kind of got a crush on you, if that's not too forward of me to say. Also, I have 0 feathers, so that's it. That's it from me. Lovely to meet you. Goodbye. Alright. So, is that old bridge our only way out of town? it may be, in which case I guess we should go ahead and take them up on it. Let's scour this side of the coast just to check. Does anyone have some steel wool? Ah, there's an eldritch tentacle monster in the woods. I think it's just the roots of a tree that has been toppled. The roots of a toppled tree. So, no bridge across this rocky section of river. I guess we're headed for the toll road then. And we have exactly enough. Maybe even a little more than that now that we sold those feathers. Thank you. I haven't been collecting quite as many of these as I've had the opportunity to. Let's make up for that now. Though I still don't know what they're for. Maybe some sort of tea ingredient. Or maybe it's where I put my dirty laundry. Emotional or otherwise. Alright, so I could buy one of those cups of warming tea, but it didn't seem like there was really any penalty for having died of frostbite nips and woken up at the inn. So I'm just gonna throw caution to the wind. Let's head to the toll road and get across before the sun gets any lower here. It's about that time of day. Yes. Thank you. Oh, you know, now that my feet are on it, it really is worth $60. Comfy. I still have my doubts. Sun's getting real low. Is it eclipse time? Sort of a lovely E.T. situation if only I had a small child, a small monkey child sliding across the moon. Could really do the whole Amblin entertainment. A Botanist's Guide to Eastshade, 3rd edition. Crassula natanis, commonly known as bloom sack, is native to the Lyndow region of Eastshade. The blossoms of the bloom sack are fully enclosed and filled with a mixture of air, viscous sap, and seeds. Upon reaching... Always go back for Jughead. I hope so. Upon reaching full size, blossoms fall to the ground and split open, allowing for reseeding. If prepared correctly, the sap may be consumed as a beverage, often referred to as bloom sack tea. The blossoms develop a hard skin when harvested, making them ideal for use as flotation devices. Does that mean I could go out to the shipwreck if I had a sort of bloom sack vest? Knock knock. God, I'm presumptuous. Onua's house. Let's keep the draft from getting in. You have quite a collection of potatoes. Don't mind me saying so. I'm gonna steal most of your saleable goods. Thank you for your time. Oh, what's this? I kind of want to paint it. Steal his secret herbalist's knowledge. It does seem sort of herbalist's shack. I'll have to keep that in mind for future side quests. Onur?
Oh, hello there. Mind the plants underfoot. What can I do for you?
I was just wondering where to get a pair of fashionable glasses.
I spend a lot of time studying and documenting new plant life. Just yesterday, I believe I discovered a new sort of lily pad.
Fascinating. I'm riveted. Tell me more.
Believe it or not, I've never been. I'm not sure Bojan would care much for the bustle.
That's what I was saying. I'm more of a naturalist myself when it comes to that sort of thing.
Mind the plants underfoot!
No need to accentuate perfection. Alright. Running down this way. To have gotten later, maybe it was because it was during the eclipse. For a second I thought the sun was going down, but I think it just fools you for a moment there every day. So this must be a sack flotation device, not quite the slimming vest I had in mind, but I would still like to have one. Bojan? Are you sitting on human skin, inflated with helium? Oh, my mistake. It looks quite peculiar, and not just because of your tush imprint.
It does not. It looks quite nice if you ask me. I made it after all.
Sorry. Oh, it looks great.
I might, but only if you meet the right requirements.
I have a feeling he's supposed to sound sort of beyond this physical world as he's sitting on his raft above us. But he really just comes off as very disinterested.
My only requirement is that you be my friends.
Aww,
one of my best friends, to be exact.
It would be a pleasure. Maybe we should get to know each other a bit? I don't think that's a... Oh, God, no, I'm not... Of course, I think we'll be great friends. But let's get to know each other first.
Quite reasonable. Let
Tell
us
me
begin
everything.
learning about one
My
another.
afternoon is free for you, Bojan.
Is your favourite colour orange or yellow?
Between the two, I'd probably say orange. But I don't think that's my favourite. I don't mean to be so dismissive at every turn. I would gladly pick orange. Orange could be my favourite colour, if that would make you happy.
I see. Now, if you had to choose between eating slugs or cakes,
delicious
which
slugs.
would you eat?
I guess I'd rather eat cakes.
Maybe I can make you some slug cakes.
Oh, that'd be great. Thanks,
this
man.
Next one will be tricky. If you saw a frog stranded all alone on a lily pad, what would you do?
I would kiss it. Looking for my prince. Bojan, you interested?
That is rather heartless. Don't let the frog see you speaking that way.
Thought that was rather kind of me.
I feel as if I have come to know you very well. Would you agree that we can be friends now?
I would like to ask you some questions, but yeah, sure.
Oh, wondrous. Here, now we can sit on rafts together. You'll need some twine to keep it all together.
Raft schematic.
I don't know how to make that, but Owner has a lot of it. You also need wax.
We'll go pull some twine
That's very
out of
hard
Owner.
to find. Sometimes there's still candles. But don't tell Owner.
I would never do such a thing. All over town for the last 2 days. Thank you. Good to meet you, best friend. Love you. Alright, Owner, I need some twine. Where'd you go? Which bulrushes are you
Hello
hiding
again.
in?
I overheard your conversation with Bojan. He'll be so excited to have you as a friend. He's a very
As will
special individual. There's no one who loves rafting as much as he does. Though he can be difficult at times, he's a kind soul. I appreciate your cordialness.
Of course, Owner. So how can I make twine?
A blossoming botanist, I see. To start, you'll
That's
need some
me.
roots. You
Blossoming.
can find them at the bases of trees. I can show you how to make twine, but it is a process. I see you're a
I'd love
painter.
to know.
I would so love some artwork in my home.
What would you like
I'm
artwork
quite
of?
partial to sandy beaches. What do you say?
Fan of
If you make
beaches.
me a painting, I'll teach you how to make twine. I look
Deal.
forward to seeing your work.
Can't just be any
Mind the
beach,
plants
though.
underfoot.
Needs to be a sandy beach. I don't know if there really was a sandy beach beyond where we washed up near the cave. So we could head back that way, or we could proceed on in the hopes that we find another sandy beach. I suppose we should stick with what we know. It's not that far over here. I see all the discussion of remakes happening in the chat. Riven would be the sequel to Mist. Very excited for that. as I've just recently jumped into the mist. Jumped aboard the mist train. I didn't properly prepare my metaphor there. Where is that sandy beach? Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. No, I was talking about a literal beach. Sun on the beach. There's a remake of Dante's Inferno. Awesome. Silent Hill 2 remake. Being worked on by Bloober Team, I do believe, which we were just playing their Layers of Fear series. This is quite sandy. It's a little bit in the shade to show off the... Whoa, God! Ghosts! Ghosts on the water! I'm so scared. And goose pimply. Oh, he's drowning! Oh no! I'm a little worried. I'm sure they'll be fine. I'm sure they'll be just fine. Hey, did you see those ghosts
I was about to
out
head
there?
into town to share news of your survival. You should go there and let them know yourself. It's just up the path.
Thank you again.
On your way, then.
Gently stroke his head. Sorry I gently stroked your head. That was a little bit forward of me. So, yeah, like maybe earlier in the day this would have some more sunshine on it. It is now 2 p.m., roughly, and the birds are frozen in place. Well, that's fair enough. I would get tired if I was a bird. I don't know if it really matters. I don't think he's gonna care if the beach isn't illuminated. It's just a location thing. But I personally care if the beach is illuminated. I guess I could try this campfire illuminated bit of beach. See if that does the trick. Give it a shot. Doink! Delightful. It's a masterpiece. I'll take it. Alright, let's see if that's beachy enough for him. It might not be. It's more of a cave, if anything. It's true, the birds aren't real. Oh, God. Everything Man in Lyset wrote about was true. Alright, headed back across the toll bridge. Taking the wild path. Through the butterfly forest. Always my preferred route. Oh, through the thicket. I care not for my knees. Let the rocks scratch them, says I. Alright, what do you think? Is this beachy
What a
enough?
lovely sandy beach you've painted. Would you be willing to give it away for the opportunity to learn?
I'm always willing to give it away for the opportunity to learn. Thank you for
This
asking.
is splendid. It will be the prized piece of my sitting room. Now, here's how to make twine.
Thank you.
Mind
I'm
the
gonna make
plants
some right now.
underfoot.
Alright. So I need sealant, which I will need the schematic recipe for, or I guess I could purchase it. I'm assuming it involves wax, which is why he mentioned that earlier, but we can now make twine. We should make another canvas while we're at it. One more. Sure. Save a couple of boards for later. Alright, we have exactly enough bloom sacks, great. We have enough sticks. We need to figure out how to make sealant. Let's see if he was lying about putting it in his sitting room. I'll tell you where you can put it. Right in your sitting room. Filled with emotion. He really cares. Just... I gotta get out of here. This is too sweet. Thank you, owner. I'll see you later, man. Bojan? Absolute pleasure to meet with you. I'll be back to speak with my best friend shortly.
Where's your
Good friend? I thought we were besties. Tell me more about fabric.
Like my clothes. You can't have
Oh,
them.
come on. Come on, Bojan. I need your pants. Alright, before the sun goes down, in actuality, let's see what's further down the road. We have another house. This might be Bojan's. See if he has any candles for me to steal. I mean, he brought it up. Annika's house. Okay. Annika? I'm bursting in on you. I hope you're not changing. Hi. Hi.
I saw some birds flying around a few nights ago.
Were they flying around?
So graceful.
Were they?
I especially like the ones that do this. Ooh, ooh. What a fun way to talk.
Simple. That was rude. I'm sorry. What do you have to say about the neighboring village?
Fancy city folk, but they do buy my pots.
So you're a pot dealer. Interesting. The authorities will like to know this. Pleasure to meet you. Nothing else to read/steal in her humble home. Lovely little house, though. I mean, I would love to live in something like this. It's gorgeous. It's so gorgeous, I kind of want to paint it. But I'll save my canvases for specific requests. What do we have here? Eastshadian black thistle. Protected under the rule of the land. Do not pick, pluck, or pull. Okay. I have to try to remember that because I pick, pluck, or pull everything. There's where that zip line is attached. Interesting. Let's go check it out. Is it sort of an Eastshadian fast travel system? Give me one moment. I'll be right back. Two-part. Alright, 3:49 p.m. We're also coming up on about an hour and 45 minutes here. I should hang out for another 15 or so, and then I'd better go do my recording before I've completely run myself out of voice. Push the thistle instead. Aha! Genius. I did not pull, pluck, or pick. I promise you. So I can go this way? Or can I go neither way? I need to invent some sort of pulley handle. Fair enough. I need to wrap my hands in sturdy cloth. Can't wait to figure out how to use that, though. Might be the building. And that might be the tree, actually. That Mother, oh Mother dear, was mentioning. Might be getting closer to some of our main quest objectives. Little fishing dock down here. Go check it out. Dirty wicker construction. I'm impressed. Apparently, I'm not allowed on the dock. That's a no. Madam. Just the subtle head turn, like, please don't fucking talk to me. Okay. Fair enough. It's too deep. This conversation, it's too deep. Can we go back to some shallower subjects, please? Alright. Nice to meet you. I'll remember that side-eye long into my grayer years. So, where would be a good angle to capture the majesty of this great big tree? I do like having the tree house as part of it. The little dead branch there is ruining it, otherwise this would be the perfect angle. How dare you ruin it for me? It's not bad. Capture as much of the majesty as possible. Yoink! Gorgeous. Oh, gorgeous. Keeping that one in my personal collection. Mother's memorial paintings. You have painted one of Mother's most beloved places. To keep it safe, preserve her memory in the painting menu. Preserve her memory in the painting menu. Yes. Paint over. No. No, no, no. Alright. I'm hoping I don't have anything to do beyond just literally preserve it in the painting menu. Don't overwrite it or sell it off. As there did not seem to be any specific option. Bird friend? How are you? So there are owls, but there are also sentient owls. I guess that's if they didn't copulate with a monkey? I don't quite know how it works. But I don't think, just from looking in the eyes of this majestic creature, I don't think they've copulated with a monkey. So we should be good. I'm sorry you had to hear this. I'll go. I'll go now. But not before I take your twine ingredients. Thank you! Alright, so how would we get up there? I want to check out the treehouse, as I'm filled with childlike wonder and curiosity. This is such a lovely game so far. I love the fact that it doesn't have, like, dangers, necessarily. Enemies to fight. You're just wandering around in pretty paintings to make. It's exactly the sort of experience I needed after being haunted by ghosts. Gorgeous. Twilight hour illumination there. If only it was a little bit res. See if I can get close enough to make it higher res, but then I've lost the twilight hour. Oh, it's gone. The magical moment is gone. Hello. The bear folk. Personal favorite of mine. Such cuties. So huggable. What are you doing, though? You're not actually... You're not... Are you pretending to dig? Are you a bandit? Going to attack me?
Pretty busy if you couldn't tell. Got all these trails to maintain, tourists to wrangle, animals to nurture, plants to relocate. I'll be lucky if I ever get to take another break in my whole life.
I don't know why that cracked me up. Like, you're doing nothing at all. I'm pretty busy if you couldn't tell. Like, you're not even digging a hole in that one spot. And even if you were doing anything other than pretending to dig a hole, it's still just that one spot in the middle of the road. You're doing great.
Well, thanks.
Good job.
I guess that's nice to hear. Although I don't see how you could know that. Oh,
fair enough.
And I've also got to go rescue a stupid water fox. As if I didn't already have enough work to do.
Can I rescue the water fox for you?
They're aquatic rodents, essentially. Like to live in watery caves. People think they're adorable, but in my opinion, they're just wretched. My responsibility here is maintaining the trails. That's why I was hired. These water foxes are a huge thorn in my paw, and they distract me from my real tasks. My partner was the one who took care of the water foxes. Now he's gone, and I have no idea to handle these animals. I've been trying to trap one all day. Tried every type of bait under the moon.
You've tried like 2 types of bait, haven't you? You're exaggerating. See, the question there, is the player a human? I was wondering about that myself. I don't know. I'm assuming that I'm some sort of owl person. But it depends on what Mother looked like. Do you need me to be your partner? How do I ask this? Would you like to be partnered with me?
He wanted to see the world. I don't blame him for that. But he could have at least left some instructions for taking care of these hard animals.
Why didn't you go with him? Was your relationship on the rocks?
I like the world here just fine. I like the trails, the trees. I don't want to see anything else. Besides, what would happen to this park if I was gone?
Well, my mother's memory would be desecrated. So thank you for your
I've already wasted so much time trying to catch him. I really can't spend another day on this. I think it's officially a lost cause.
Yeah, he'll probably die.
Just trying to get to the question.
His kits won't last long
can
without
I
him
do
either.
it?
I guess it's
Can
sad,
I try
but
the bait?
trails need maintenance.
Can I go see them? There we go.
I'm not really supposed to let visitors get so close to the wildlife, but I guess it doesn't matter at this point. The water foxes are living in a cave, not more than 100 paces from me.
Now we're getting somewhere. A wounded water fox. Alright. So what would I need to do? A park ranger in the Great Shade told me about a wounded water fox. The animal needs help, but he can't manage to lure it. I know he did something about water foxes, but I wasn't paying enough to know if it mentioned things they're interested in. And I don't think I keep that sort of thing in my journal. But he said they were about 100 paces away. Let's look about. What's this? Black thistle, probably. I don't think right in front of the park ranger I should violate the one rule of the park. Is the cave this way? Need some sort of lantern. I also need to get inside rather quickly before night arrives, but I don't think I'm going to make it back to the inn at this point. Kestrel's Eyrie. Hello,
Welcome
Kestrel.
to the Kestrel's Eyrie,
I mean,
providing a
Medea.
warm bed for travelers and tourists for just 2 glowstones a night. Are you in need of a room tonight?
I kind of am. It is getting dark and scary outside. Tell
It's
me
a shiny
more
kind
about
of place.
Noah.
You heading there now?
Very soon I will be. Yes.
I heard there's an arts supplies store. Seems like something you might like.
Thank you. I'll look forward to that. And here's
All right,
your
then.
2 glowstones.
It's just up the stairs, second door on the right.
Lovely. I appreciate you, Nadir. Alright. Anything else we can steal / glean before we go to bed? And I suppose that would be a good time to race off and do my recording for the day as well. Though I am having a lovely time with this. It really is unique and fanciful. And I love every minute of it. Madam, I know you paid your 2 glowstones for privacy, but here I am.
By trade,
Let us
I am a
converse.
cartographer, but unfortunately my productivity is down at the moment. I have run out of ink. It'll be a while before my shipment comes in.
I'll go milk the octopus.
You're new around
Give me
here,
a
right?
moment.
I'll bet you
Go
could use a
squeeze the
map
old
of
squid,
Eastshade.
if you know what I'm saying.
If you'd like one, I have an extra print here I can give you. But in exchange,
Sneak and
I'm
fanciful.
wondering if there's something you can do for me. As I mentioned,
Go on.
I'm running low on
Oh, the
ink.
ink. I
if
see.
you find
I
me
see.
4 inky cap mushrooms, I'll give it to you.
You'll give it to me. The map. I see. I see. I'll keep an eye out for them. Yeah, I don't have them yet. I have no inky cap mushrooms. Let me just check. Yep.
That
Nothing.
would be grand. Last time I went inky cap foraging, I got
Near the
trapped in a
park ranger.
conversation with the park
Check, check.
ranger. He's rather obsessed with trail making, isn't he? He gabbed about it for nearly an hour.
Had a similar experience, yeah. Just kept asking if I could help with the water fox situation, and he would not stop talking about the trail making. See you soon. Enjoy your private room for the night, which isn't locked. I'll be back. Alright. So, we have a quest for next time. We will find some inky cap mushrooms. Steal, steal, steal. We will try to find the wounded water fox and figure out what to lure it with. We will continue looking for our mother's dear memories of landmarks from her childhood. And we will continue exploring this beautiful and fanciful world. Thank you for your time. Just coming up on 2 hours here. That should be a nice little inky cap for the session. I appreciate your time. I cannot wait to be back here soonish. 7:14 p.m. Well, going to bed at this time just seems like a crime. And yet, it's gonna get cold outside. Fine. Foolish. Foolish of me to sleep so much of the day away. But here we are. I will see you at 5 a.m. tomorrow. But hopefully not actually at 5 a.m. tomorrow, because nobody wants to be up that time on a Sunday. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining me in this wonderful new adventure of ours. I will see you for some gorgeous painting shortly. Bye for now.